think about, 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 think about.
So glad you're with us again today. Welcome to Think About It. Today we're going to talk about fellowship. Fellowship. And here's why it's so important. It's important to realize that Christianity is a religion based on fellowship. It is a relationship centered around fellowship. There are a lot of people who think that it's okay to profess to be a Christian and to profess to love God, and yet do not really concentrate on fellowship, whether it's with God or people. Biblical fellowship comes from a Greek word called koinonia, and it's important to at least understand that fellowship centers around a relationship of love. So there's fellowship with God, there's fellowship with others. We have shared values and beliefs as it relates to God and people, and therefore we have a fellowship in that regard. This fellowship, it produces a mutual cooperation in God's worship. Fellowship is important as a Christian because it constantly reminds us of the love of God. Where there's true fellowship, it evolves out of love. So Christianity is a religion based on fellowship. Listen to what the Bible says. This is important, and this is where we get our greatest clarity. In Romans 12:10, he says, love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. This is a part of Christian fellowship. See, you can't profess a love where there is no fellowship. And you generally wouldn't want any fellowship where there is no love. So Paul says, love each other with a genuine affection because that's a part of good Christian fellowship. Listen to John 13:34. So now I'm giving you a new commandment. Listen now. Love each other just as I have loved you. You should love each other. Look at Jesus. He tells you how to love. Love each other. It doesn't mean you agree on everything. It doesn't mean that you're always likable. But he says, love each other, and look what he says, the way I loved you. So he didn't leave it to us to define love. He says, love each other the way I love you. Despite your faults, I loved you, and I promoted fellowship. We hung out together, Peter, even though I didn't really like all of your profanity. But I could look past that and see your heart because that's a part of fellowship. You don't have to like people you love, all right? But we do have to promote fellowship. So he says, so I'm going to give you a new commandment. Love each other. And loving was not a new commandment. Jesus was actually saying, I'm going to give you a commandment at a totally different level. Don't just love people that appease you. Love each other the way I loved you. And I loved you despite your faults and shortcomings. Listen to Ephesians 5:2. Live a life filled with love, following the example of who? Christ. He loved us and offered himself as a sacrifice for us, a pleasing aroma to God. Fellowship is a part, a major part, an important part, an integral part of being a Christian. Fellowship is that remembering that God had to love us unconditionally to do the things he did and accomplish the things he did in us. He had to love us despite ourselves. So if Christianity is about fellowship with God and fellowship with mankind, look at the cross. We talk about the cross, but look at the cross. There's the vertical beam that says there's fellowship with God, through the relationship of Jesus Christ. And there's the horizontal beam that says there's fellowship with man. We can't literally talk about Christianity without recognizing that there must be fellowship vertically with God and horizontally with each other. We don't have to agree on everything to get along. Sometimes I don't know if Rodney King really knows how profound his statement was when he says, can't we all just get along? In biblical fellowship, we may not be able to agree on everything, but you find reasons and ways to get along. That's what fellowship is all about. Fellowship with God, fellowship with men. It can be a struggle, but we have a responsibility to think about.